Sophia had always lived a comfortable life. She grew up in a quiet town, surrounded by family and friends. She attended a good school, earned decent grades, and had a strong group of friends she could count on. From the outside, it seemed like everything was perfect, and Sophia felt safe in this routine. But deep inside, there was a restlessness she couldn't shake. She felt as though she was meant for something more, something beyond the life she knew. She just wasn't sure what that something was, and the uncertainty bothered her more than she could express. One evening, while walking home from the local coffee shop, Sophia encountered an elderly woman sitting by the side of the street. The woman was wearing a simple dress, but there was something about her eyes deep and wise, that made Sophia stop in her tracks. "Are you lost, young lady?" the woman asked. Sophia shook her head, but then something strange happened. She felt an overwhelming urge to talk to the woman, to share her thoughts and struggles, even though she had never done anything like it before. "I don't know," Sophia said hesitantly. "I feel like there's something more for me out there, but I don't know how to find it." The woman smiled warmly. "Sometimes, the journey we need to take is not the one we expect," she said. "You don't have to know the way ahead, child. Just take the first step." The woman's words lingered in Sophia's mind long after they parted ways. That night, she couldn't sleep. For the first time in years, she felt a spark of excitement mixed with nervousness. The next day, she woke up with a feeling that she couldn't ignore. Today would be different. Sophia went about her usual routine, but this time, she decided to take a different route to school, walking through a park she had never visited before. It was a quiet morning, with the sun just beginning to rise. She admired the beauty around her, the birds chirping, the wind blowing through the trees. As she walked, she saw an old building in the distance. Curious, she decided to take a closer look. When she reached the building, she realized it was an old art studio, abandoned for years but still standing strong. Something inside her urged her to enter. She pushed the door open slowly, and as she stepped inside, the smell of dust and paint greeted her. The place was filled with unfinished canvases, jars of brushes, and half-dried paints. It was as if the art had been left here waiting for someone to discover it. Sophia wandered around, touching the brushes and running her fingers over the canvases. She had never considered herself an artist, But something about this place stirred a part of her she hadn't known existed. She picked up a paintbrush and, almost instinctively, dipped it into some paint. With hesitant strokes, she began to paint. Hours passed, and before she knew it, she had created something beautiful, something that had come from a place deep within her. It was a portrait, not of anyone she knew, but of herself, her emotions, her dreams, and her fears captured on the canvas. As she stepped back to admire her work, Sophia realized something extraordinary. This painting, this moment, was her first step toward finding what she had been searching for. The rest of her life didn't need to be figured out all at once. Sometimes it was enough to take one step, to step into the unknown and allow the journey to unfold. Sophia began visiting the studio every day, slowly discovering the joy of creating art and the peace it brought her. Her confidence grew, and she realized that she didn't have to have everything figured out. The more she let go of the need to control her path, the more she discovered about herself and her true passions. As the months passed, Sophia's art became her voice. Her paintings spoke of her growth, her struggles, and her triumphs. She started sharing them with others, and to her surprise, people loved her work. She had never imagined that something she had created could connect with others so deeply. Sophia's journey was not a straight path. It wasn't about a single moment or decision, but about the quiet, courageous steps she took each day. By embracing the unknown and trusting the process, she found her purpose, something she never could have predicted from the life she once lived. The rest of her life unfolded with the same sense of wonder and discovery. Sophia knew now that her journey wasn't about finding the right answer or reaching the perfect destination. It was about allowing herself to step into the unknown, to trust that the answers would reveal themselves along the way.